Deal Stewart. As the banner states, not really going to be any writing sprints today, or at least not on here. I just figured I'd do this, just do a little chit chat, which I know a lot of the streams kind of involve a lot of chit chat and stuff like that. So I figured I'd just kind of do that. So we're not really feel guilty when we don't actually write. I got about an hour and a half till I gotta go and get my wife, so I figured I'd just get on here and chit chat with y'all. So yeah, while we're doing that, I am also going to be looking for some stuff or whatever for a future video that I'm going to do. Some images. I think for my next METAGORE Monday video, it's going to be about the different races of my story that's inhabit the lands, and I'm going to maybe throw a picture up on the screen or whatever of those during that video. So I'm trying to find some. I have a program where I can make the majority of them, if not all of them, but I really don't want to because it takes so long to render. I could do like one little image and it could take like several hours to render that one image, and there's like 24 races, so that would be a lot of images. So I would rather just find something off of Pinterest or something like that, DeviantArt, whatever, and just kind of use those and pop them up. So like I said, it's just gonna be a chit chat type video. If there's anything y'all want to just kind of chit chat, questions, whatever, feel free to ask. That's what this stream's mostly for. So yeah. Hey Michael, how you doing today? I apologize, my camera's all bouncing. Got my laptop actually in my lap, so yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. God damn. Let's see. Let's see here. How would you? I do not know how to pronounce that name. Valentine. Just chit chat. Basically. I've got some other stuff I gotta do besides actually writing, and I know a lot of my writing streams are kind of comprised of a lot of chit chat. So I figured I would just kind of do just a chit chat video today. So yeah. I'm okay. Going to a used book sale in an hour, trying to write a bit, that kind of thing. Cool, cool. Yeah, I mean, if y'all want to write during the stream or whatever, you can. I'm not going to do any actual sprints or anything like that. It's just kind of more of a leisure type stream. And of course, my throat wants to act up now. So yeah, that's always fun. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Let's see. Maybe Google. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. So what kind of used book sale is it? Is it like an actual bookstore, or is it more like a yard sale, garage sale type thing, flea market, or whatever. You're looking to buy a bunch. Looking for a 32-year-old white 5'5" Danish female with blue eyes. Nope, I ain't seen her. I don't know any Danish people that I'm aware of. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. So I got the first chapter of my debut novel back for the audiobook a couple days ago, and it sounds amazing. I'm going to try to share some of that, maybe not the first chapter, but some bits and pieces as it's being created upon my channel at some point. I don't know when. But I am sharing the first 4 chapters over on my Patreon page for any of my patrons. So if y'all ain't a patron, the link's down below. You can go click it. My smallest tier is like just $1. And if you click that, you'll get to see all of the feed and stuff. And I shared the first chapter on there. And once I get the second chapter, I'll post it on there as well. And the third and the fourth or whatever. So if any of y'all's interested in that, boom, 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 boom. It's a 3-day event that the local youth center puts together. Books on tables in a large warehouse. Cool, cool. This is like a indoor flea market type community yard sale, I guess. I don't know what that's really called. I know some of the community centers around here do stuff like that. Not necessarily just dedicated to just books, but big rent a table or whatever type ordeal. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see here. And I just got an email let me know that I am online. Nope, it's my channel. I do what I want. There are usually thousands upon thousands of books. We actually donate about 3,000 books to them a few years ago. Cool. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. brag. Cool, cool. I think that's what most of us are here, or at least I know I am. Michael's been working on some stuff. And a lot of other people that usually join these streams or in the comments and stuff are usually other authors. Either they've already been published, they're still working on it, or whatever. Well, that's cool. Welcome. What kind of stuff do you write? Kind of genres and demographic, age-wise, and stuff do you write for? Let's see here. I got a question for y'all. What kind of content do y'all like seeing, like on AuthorTube and stuff? I know a lot of people do like how-to videos and stuff, but I personally feel like that's overdone in a sense. And I don't really enjoy filming those. I do film some of them, and there are some stuff I don't mind doing or whatever. But me personally, I like just doing tags and talking about my book mostly. Um, I know I've done a couple vlogs, and I plan on doing a vlog. I think tomorrow. Mandy Lynn's doing another 10K a day or whatever for tomorrow, so I'm going to attempt to do that again and do a vlog over that and such. But besides that, I want to know like what other people enjoy watching in terms of videos and such. So maybe kind of for me to be able to do some more of those and such. Let's see here. Only started to write 2 weeks ago just to improve my vocabulary in English and expand my grammar. Cool, cool. Yeah, I think even us people that normally speak English, that's a good thing to do, especially like with reading. It kind of expands your vocabulary and just the practice you get, you know, to be able to form proper sentence structure in your grammar and everything else. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hey Eva, this is just a author chat type stream or whatever. Nothing, no writing or anything like that. Just some chit chat. So if you got any questions or anything y'all want to talk about or whatever, just feel free to ask. I got a little over an hour until I got to go, and I know a lot of my streams usually turn into some just chit chat, which I think it's usually your fault. So yeah. And I got some trolls trolling in the comments, but oh well. It happens. Cool, cool. My throat's been bothering me a little bit. I had some ice cream. That'd probably help a little bit. And I just got paid, so yay. I got money. I got money. So writing related? Whatever. It can be. It can be just general chit chat, whatever. I know Aphrodite had mentioned at one point we might do like an author chat on one of their like Tuesday streams instead of actual writing sprints or something. And I figured I would just do something like that, whether it's actual writing related type chat or just general, just whatever. Just kind of chillax type day. I'm doing some image searches on the half of the screen right now, and then doing this on another half. How far into book 2 am I? I think I got roughly 30 chapters completely wrote, and I've got 4 other chapters partially started, whether they're almost done or just getting started. But all in all, I guess somewhere around 30 to 34 book or chapters into the book. It's going to be at the moment, I believe, 50 chapters plus an epilogue. Did you? No, that's one of those chapters I'm still working on. It's just like the complication before the actual C-section. I'm still kind of having some problems with trying to work all of that out. The actual C-section itself, as well as the actual birth and afterwards, I think I might be able to do that just fine. But just kind of that initial part, getting it all started, whatever. I'm still kind of about. So I'm still working on that one. Oh, let's see here. Oh, you know how many words I've got for that chapter yet? I came up with a title because I title all my chapters, and that chapter is going to be called A Raven's Lust. Raven in terms of the color black. You got raven hair, you got black hair, stuff like that. So it's more of a darker type title in a sense. Let's see here. I don't know what chapter that is. Let's see here. Chapter 39. I kind of skip around in chapters. I try to write mostly chronologically, but not always. So right now it's sitting at chapter 39, and I have About 658 written for that chapter. And I know I want that to be like the main point of that chapter, but I figure there might be some other things going along with it, so it's not just that chapter. Yeah, my wife, she reads a lot of fanfic, a lot of gay fanfic, and there's one that involved like fantasy type creatures. Second in call. Boop. And one that she read actually involves the same race that I am or whatever. So she believes it was a C-section or something. She remembers there was a birth. She said it's been a while. So she's going to try to find that and let me read it to kind of get better idea about that itself. So yeah. I think I want to name my chapters, but I'm not sure yet. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out the middle and where major plot point happens. Too many options. Yeah. So, I like naming my chapters. I don't know if I'll do it for every book. I know every book in my METAGORE series I will, because I did it in the first book, and so far I've been doing it in the second. So I'm going to do it throughout the whole series. So it's not like different books are different. But in other series or something, I might not. It just depends. But I like it. It allows me a little bit more creativeness, a little bit more thought, I guess, put into it. So yeah, and I like trying to uh, do a little bit of symbolism or whatever, or metaphors to what's actually happening in the chapter. So, especially the second half of the story, which may be a companion book or sequel. Yeah. My side project, Gift of a Child, I've only wrote 4 chapters, or I'm still working on chapter 4 of it. I haven't been naming those yet. I might go back later and name them. I don't know. And then my memoir, as of right now, does not have actual titles for the chapters, but I believe I will, because I know some of them we did songs about a particular event. So I'm going to make that title of that chapter, wherever that song title, basically. And then the ones that aren't, I'm sure I can come up with a title for those. So. I don't know if you said earlier, I got the first chapter back from my audiobook narrator. It sounds fucking amazing. And hopefully he'll have the second chapter done sometime this coming up week. I hope. Yeah. So I was thinking, also we did some skits, and the CDs kind of to in between songs, like either like an after a song kind of tied to that, or like an intro to the next one. Um, and those a lot of times were based off of other events that actually happened to us. So I might title the chapters that title as well, whatever. Yeah, I'm really excited. He did like an excellent job with all the voices and the different accents to separate the different kingdoms and stuff. It sounded amazing. I also mentioned earlier I do have a Patreon account. I've had it for like a little over a year. Haven't really done anything till like this past week, really, on there. Um, and I'm going to share the first 4 chapters of my audiobook up on there. I got the first one on there now. Whenever I get the second one, I'll post it on there, and yada yada yada. And it will be available for anybody who actually becomes a Patreon on there. And my lowest tier is just $1 or whatever. So you do that and you get access to all that kind of stuff. And the link's down in the description if you're interested in that. I think at the moment I have one Patreon, and that's Aphrodite at the moment. Yeah. Uh, no. What stream starts in a little bit? Only one I know about is Sarah usually does one tonight or on Friday nights or whatever. I don't know if I'll be on it or not. I'll probably be. I don't have any work to do at the moment. I know my boss just paid me a little bit ago, so I'm going to probably get a new case soon. Um, I'll probably be working on it tonight instead of being on her stream. But yeah, I think Aphrodite and maybe DL Tillery are doing one tomorrow. I know they've been doing one on Saturdays, so I might be on theirs tomorrow night, but probably not anymore today. I might jump in the comments or whatever if I got a little bit of downtime or whatever, but no, probably not on the stream. As well as it's Friday, so my mom's probably gonna ask if she can keep the kids tonight, so I'll probably have to leave town, take them up there for them to stay the night. Laura, Laura. Here. Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But whatever. I ain't worried about it. Boom, boom, boom. I used to go on video games and troll people all the time, so I know what it's like. Apparently, they're attracted to low-life people. They like being in the same company, that ordeal. Are you talking about Laura, what was it, Trope Trinity Trilogy? Laura? Is that who you're talking about? Boom, 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 boom. My personality. Personality. There's a garbage truck outside getting all the trash. Oh. Oh. Laura Clark. I don't know. Let's see here. I try to subscribe to a lot of people that I see. I know Sarah does those AuthorTube YouTubers. I usually try to go and subscribe to all of them. I do unsubscribe if I don't like their content or I'm just not really feeling their channel that much. but I do go ahead and subscribe to them at first and then give them a shot. I think currently I have like over, at one point it was like over 200 people I'm subscribed to, so I can't keep up with everybody. Laura Clark. Yep, I'm subscribed to her. I don't reckon I've seen any of her videos. It might be one of those I subscribe to because of that. I just haven't got to that part yet. But yeah. I think she was in the comment section and I subscribed. This is the first notification I've seen. So I'm gonna stop by. Yeah, I like watching streams and participate in them when I can. I know I used to do a lot with Carrow Brown and Skye and Dane and stuff during the days, during the week. But now, since the kids are in school, we only have one car and my wife works. I have to take my wife to work, then I have to take the kids to school, and then I have to leave to go get my wife. And I have to go get her during that stream. So that's why I haven't been really doing streams with them a lot here lately. I try to hop in the comments every so often when I can. But, you know, I don't want to go live on camera or whatever and then partway through be like, well, I gotta go and then get off camera. I'd rather just be in the comments and do that. So that's why I haven't been doing streams with them the past, I guess, 2 weeks now. Yeah, it does. Especially when my wife has to be at work at like 6 in the morning. So we gotta get up and get the kids all ready, like around 5:30 or so, just so I can take her to work, come back home, and then feed them breakfast and all that stuff, and then take two of them to school, and then come back home with the youngest. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Which me personally, I mean, it doesn't bother me. People trolling, whatever. I know people are lonely, don't know what the fuck to do, so it doesn't bother me any. But I try to stay on top of it, just so it's not harassing y'all too much, I guess. Let's see here. Oh. But yeah, I asked earlier. I think they was the only one that actually responded. But you know, what kind of content do you like watching on AuthorTube? Like, what kind of videos and such? Because I've been trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, like going into next year. I already kind of know what I'm going to do for the rest of this year, content wise. I usually map out the schedule in advance. So I already got all of that. But going into the future, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to lean towards. I know myself, I don't mind doing how-to videos, but I feel like they're overdone and I just don't get as much joy of actually filming them or anything like that. Unlike, you know, tags, I like doing them, but I know it seems like I've got a lot of tags I'm going to do, and that's not really giving out much content that somebody else hasn't already done as well. Um, so I don't know exactly where I'm going forward. I'm sure I'm going to figure out something, but you know, what do y'all like enjoying and stuff? Yeah. See others' rights. So maybe kind of like more like vlogs and I guess author struggle type stuff. Yeah, I love tags. Um, I know I've got a list of different ones I need to do or I want to do. I don't really have to need to do them, but I want to do whatever. Um, and I was going to try to do them split between like my blogs and my YouTube channel, but I've been mostly just doing them on here. I did a couple on my blog. I don't know how many more I'm going to keep doing on there. I plan on probably still doing some so I can, kind of keep a somewhat active blog, but I will mostly be doing them on uh, YouTube or whatever. And then I know I got a few more ideas for my METAGORE Monday videos. I think I got 3 more ideas that I know for sure I'm going to do, and then I got a few others that I'm planning on doing. Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow's Mandy Lynn's 10K writing challenge for August. I'm going to try to participate in that, hopefully, and I'll probably film it and vlog it like I have the past two, and then probably post that up maybe Thursday. I haven't really set a schedule for it yet. I know I've already got a video filmed for Monday, so it won't go up then like my regular days. And I usually kind of reserve Thursdays if I decide to do a bonus video. So I'm gonna upload that vlog Thursday. Cool, cool. Done one YouTube video. I tried to do more. But you get better as you do it. I honestly haven't seen it. Um, I'll go check out your channel maybe after the stream or something. If you still have it up, I know some people take them down after a while, but you get better at it. You get more comfortable being in front of a camera, I guess, and you learn what works, what doesn't work, what you need to improve on, stuff like that. So don't quit, just kind of keep trying. I haven't made any. I may do a home Reno vlog. Cool, cool. Yeah, I have actually 2 pages, YouTube channels. One's this one, and my other. I don't really use it that much. Like I haven't posted any content on it in forever. I usually use it for my normal search history type ordeal. So I can keep this one strictly for writing and only following author tubers on here. So whenever it has recommended or whatever, it will show more of that content. As in my other one, I used to use it for some personal stuff, music when I was doing music and all that stuff. So any just comedians I follow, or I can do some magic tricks and stuff like that. So I follow some magicians on there, as well as music, um, filming, special effects type stuff, because I used to be into that as well. And any other type of non-authorly type channels I follow on that channel. So, I kind of keep those two separate. Yeah. Um, I think there is one channel I follow on this channel that is not author related, but I found it to be very helpful. I can't remember what it's called. I think modern history or something, but it is literally just talking about medieval times. What kind of food they ate, the different classes, like the more high class, what kind of food they ate, what the low class people ate, this and that. The process of making a sword, the different type of shields and the evolution of the shields and what their purpose was and why they changed shapes, and horses and horseback riding, how to train a horse to be a war horse and stuff like that. So I follow that channel on here because I use that for my writing a lot. Some of the stuff I already kind of knew, but I mean, he's very educated in that period of time. So I watched his channel for that stuff, especially whenever I want to incorporate something specific and I'm not sure. Most of the time he has a video on it, so that's why I follow him on this channel instead of my other channel, just so it's kind of it still relates to my writing, even though he's not an author. But yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think it's Modern History. That's the dude's name. Hi, Alec. This is just a chit chat video, no writing or anything like that. My phone's going off. Just kind of chit chatting. In about 45 minutes or so, I gotta get off here and go get my wife from work. But I figure I would just do a chit chat one, since most of the writing streams I try to do usually involve a lot of chit chat. So I figure just kind of do that. I've been doing a little bit of image searching for a future videos and stuff like that. And we got some trolls in the comments, so enjoy. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, fun. But yeah, if you got any questions or anything you just want to chat about, that's what the stream's for. So you can comment and we can chit chat about whatever. And a question I had asked Michael and Eva is, what kind of content do you like watching in YouTube or AuthorTube videos? I'm trying to figure out exactly what all I want to do for next year's videos. I've already got everything kind of scheduled for this year. I'm sure some of that stuff might change or might kind of get put off and go into next year. But as of right now, I've got this year pretty much set. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of content I want to do next year. So I'm just trying to get an idea of what everybody kind of likes and kind of see where I can go from there. Not really. I got a little bit. I know Eva had asked me that earlier. I think I got like 650 something words written for the chapter. I haven't really got to the actual C-section part. Almost there, and I feel like that and on I should be all right. But it's just like what leads up to it, I guess. It's kind of what I'm struggling with a little bit. I know my wife said she'd look at it, but she hadn't had a C-section. But I feel like that and the actual birth part and stuff I should be able to do. But just like trying to figure out exactly what I want to happen and how to go about leading up to actually having to have that. I know there's some elements that I want to incorporate. I had thought about, I think it's AFE being the reason why, maybe. But I don't know. I'm now come leaning maybe afterwards her getting AFE. I don't know. So I'm still trying to figure out all that portion of it. I know my wife, she reads a lot of gay fanfic, and some of them are fantasy. And there's one she says she remembers reading from the same race as what I'm writing that's having this child. And she says she thinks, and that story that she read it had a C-section, she thinks. So she says she's going to try to find that maybe today or something, or this weekend. See if she can find that again, and let me read that so I can kind of see maybe how they approached it. But I really don't know if that's really going to help. I don't really know if they had these same complications, I guess, or not. I don't know. Writing vlogs, parenting. Yeah, the only vlogs I've really done, I've done one for my release day. Then I did one when we took the kids to the zoo, like a surprise trip to the zoo. And I've done two for Mandy Lynn's 10K writing challenges. Which she's got one tomorrow, so I'll probably be filming a vlog for that and posting it up maybe Thursday, I think. Unless I just feel like posting it up Monday and then putting that video back to Thursday. I don't know. It'll go up sometime this coming up week. But yeah. And I've thought about doing some others, so I don't know. I guess we'll see. I might try to do some for like holidays or something, maybe. I don't know. I enjoy the daily vlogs or vlogs that don't necessarily have to do with writing in order to get a glimpse about what the life is like for the author. Yeah, I know all the vlogs that I did do, even those 10K writing days, I try to sprinkle in some of that, like mixed up with, getting the kids breakfast and stuff. I think one of them I was even doing laundry. I was making barbecue one time in the crock pot and stuff like that. So I tried to mix in a little bit of that stuff with my writing. I don't think the second 10K writing thing, I don't think I had that much actual regular filming besides the writing. I did have a little bit, but yeah. As for writing vlogs, I enjoy write-ins and info vlogs. Cool. Boom, 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 boom. I'm editing. Yeah. Are you doing self edits or you gotta going through like the professional edits and stuff? The self edits I find tedious and revisions and stuff. When I actually had my professional edit, I actually didn't really mind it too much. It didn't seem like it went too long. I know the span of it did, but that's just because I sent a little bit to my editor at a time instead of all at once. So I'd send off a little bit, he'd send it back, I would edit it, I'd send off a little bit more, he'd send it back, I would edit it, yada yada yada. So it spanned for several months, but actually having to edit didn't really take that long for me. More relatable is. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Like I said, I've thought about doing some more. I don't know. Most of my life is just kind of sitting at home, getting up, getting the kids ready, cartoons on, and sitting on a computer, especially whenever I got to work. So I don't feel like it'd be very entertaining, but yeah, I might do more. Yeah, self edits on base. Yeah, yeah, that can be more tedious. I know, like some self edits and revisions, because you're actually trying to rack your brain on how to make it better. But I found when I worked with my professional editor, him telling me this is what needs to be changed or fixed or whatever. I found that was a lot easier and a lot faster than me just being like, what do I need to do to make this better? Oh shit, skipped one. My bad. Professional edits can be scary and really bad. Yeah, I really don't care what people think about my book or anything. I've had a lot of good feedback. Had some, I guess, not so good feedback as well, but it's what I wanted to write, so that's what I wrote. So I really don't care if people like it or not. I don't really have like a big ego or anything like that. I've always been pretty, transparent and stuff. Used to make music that a lot of people didn't approve of or like or whatever. Never really bothered me. It's what I want to do, and I think that's how a lot of people need to just kind of approach it. If it's something that makes you happy and you enjoy it, then just do it. You don't have to have other people's approval. Which is, I guess, one of the reasons why I don't really mind having trolls myself in streams or anything. Oh yeah, it makes you feel good if people do like it, but yeah. Can't afford professional edits or really heavily on my betas and friends who are good at grammar and sentence structure. Yeah, it can run into some money. I think I spent $1,100, I believe, for edits. Um, I know I had done just some regular self edits and revisions, and had some alphas and betas and stuff like that, and then did several rounds of self edits. And then I also used what's called Hemingway app, which is a website, which kind of helps you with some sentence structure and some grammar and stuff. Lets you know what's in passive voice, what's how many adverbs you've used and stuff like that, and tells you like the reading grade, I guess. If something's like I think they prefer like a ninth grade reading level type ordeal, but if you write a lot of bigger words or whatever, it raise it and it'll tell you, maybe kind of dumb it down a little bit just so it's more readable to the majority of people. And it'll also tell you, you have this many adverbs, for something this size, you would need to have this many or less for it to be, more of a professional grade. So you can kind of see all that stuff. Same thing with passive voice. So I kind of use that and Grammarly, which I think uses or focuses more on actual punctuation and word choice than what Hemingway does. So I use that for that, and then Hemingway for more of the adverbs and passive voice and some sentence structure type stuff. And then after all that, then I send it to my professional editor. But the cost is why I sent just portions at a time. So I wasn't out the $1,100 at once. I was maybe paying like 50 to 100 at a time. I would send like maybe a chapter a week. He'd send it back, and then maybe the next week send another chapter or two, or maybe wait 2 weeks to send him a couple chapters or something like that. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm hoping I can manage all my edits myself since I'm technically qualified. We'll see though. Yeah, in school, I was straight A's in math and English, and grammar and stuff like that. I know I don't talk proper English or grammar or whatever, and I usually don't type properly, but I do know the stuff. But even when it comes to writing, I still, don't write how it should be. And I know a lot of the stuff my editor would point out. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that. But it's just not my natural instinct, I guess, to write or talk like that. So that's not how it comes across when I write. So even though, I feel like I'm knowledgeable enough, whether or not, I actually put that knowledge to use is totally different. Technical edits improve on me. So, yeah, I like betas and alphas mostly for as a reader perspective, not as much, actually for edits. I use that more for like content of, how did you like the characters? Did this make sense? Was this too fast paced? Was it moving too slowly? Stuff like that for those, which is what I feel like most alphas and betas are actually intended for. It's more of a reader perspective, and then more critique partners are more for actual edits and stuff. And then, of course, your editor. So, yeah. Can't pick apart a character art, but otherwise, nope, I have to have someone else do it. I can't, yep. A few links to my two sites that help with all of that, and I have Grammarly. Yeah, Grammarly helps a lot. I use it for. I have the add-on for my web browser, so on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, it'll pick it up. I know I still don't type up properly even when I'm making posts, but at least that helps a little bit. I'm not sure the age of my target reader yet. Yeah, I know mine, it's more adults, but I know Hemingway app, it is more not necessarily like your age range, like young adults or adults or whatever. It's more like a reading level, which I think they recommend about ninth or 10th grade reading level, for even, really high adults, books, just because, what you learn in school, and, you forget it, and, just different, I don't know. That's just more the average, I think, of the average adult reader would be around that range. There's some be higher, some lower, whatever, but that's a good um, reading level you need to try to write on, I guess. I know I didn't get everything down to ninth grade level. I think I had some 10th, some 11th, whatever, but they recommend around that range, I guess. And then, of course, if you're writing young adults, that would probably still kind of work, I guess, with the vocabulary and stuff. Yeah. And then maybe more middle grade or whatever, you'd want to lower that even more, I guess. What are the ages of the characters, and what are the situations in the book that will determine the category? Yeah, yeah. That I know a lot of people try to say the characters, in a sense. Um, I disagree with that to some extent. Um, I rely strictly on the situations. If it's, got some explicit content in it or whatever, it's going to be adults. Um, if not, then, depending what kind of contents and situations are in the story for everything else. But I mean, you look at like Game of Thrones and stuff, there's a lot of child characters in that story, but that is definitely an adult series. Hey, Persephone, we're just doing a writerly author chat. Probably be on here about another 30 minutes, just chit chat. Got questions or anything you want to talk about, feel free to comment. It's either going to be young adult or adult. Yeah, my gift of a child story, my side project or one of the side projects I got. It was originally going to be young adult. It was going to be more of a darker fantasy, but I was still going to try to cater it to young adult. But I don't know. I think I might go a little bit too dark and too graphic at times, maybe. I haven't really wrote that much of it, but that's just my mind state, so it might become adult. But like I was just saying, characters, they're not going to change. They're still going to be young adult characters, just not the content in the story. So yeah. My main character is 20 or 22. She started at 16 and aged up once already. Cool. But yeah, if you're basing it solely off of just age, uh, 20, 22, that would be adult or new adult, kind of depending, again, what kind of content that is. Yeah, NA, new adult. I don't know if sex will happen, and if it does, I'm not sure if it will be implied or shown. Violence, I'm not sure how violent it will be. All those sections have placeholders. Yeah, that will really kind of govern exactly how or what age category it will be. I know some young adults and new adults have sex scenes in it, but it's more just kind of implied or whatever. It's not really shown that much. Um, I have seen some that was shown, but wasn't very graphic when it was shown, so it could still kind of cater to a new adults or young adults. But I would try to stay away from young adult because the age limit readers typically is supposed to be like from 13 to like 18 or whatever. You're gonna have a lot older people reading. You're gonna have people younger, but I mean that's kind of what that caters towards, I guess. So if you're going to show it, I would try to do more new adults, maybe. If it's not too graphic. And same thing with violence, depending the severity of the violence or whatever would determine that. There's also a child in the story. The majority of characters are beasts or ageless. Cool, cool. Your book will be determined by how adult the situation. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I am with the gift of child. I had intended it for it to be young adult, but I'm beginning to think it might be more adult. I don't know. But for me, I don't really try to write something that is a particular age range. I know some people's like, I want to write a new or a young adult, can I put this in or whatever? I don't have that mindset. I was like, I want to write this story. I'm going to put this in. If that makes it young adult, okay. If that makes it adult, okay. I don't care exactly what the marketing plan is. I know some people do because young adults fantasy sells a lot more and is more popular than adult fantasy or whatever. I don't really care myself, so that's how I view it. So I'm just gonna write it how I want and then figure out what category and age range and stuff it falls in. If he's 20, that's adult because 20-year-olds aren't young adult. Yeah. If you're basing it off of the characters themselves. There we go. I think the reason why they say pay attention to age because coming of age stories are young adults, so that specific category. New adult is college or college-like stuff. Yeah, and there are some coming of age stories that are new adult. If you think of it, once the people get out of high school and are going to college, and they're really determining what they want to do with their life and stuff like that. So I think a coming of age kind of trope, in a sense, could be either young adult or new adult, usually. So yeah. And it's new. So it's new to mine as well. Just say it all, yeah. It's a mythological fantasy. Yeah. What kind of mythological element? Is it like a combination of different ones, or is it based solely off like Greek mythology or Egyptian mythology or Roman mythology or whatever? Because I know for mine, um, I have about 24 different races I kind of gathered from different mythologies. Kind of put it in there, as well as just some regular fantasy type characters. Um, I've got demons, imps, elves, centaurs, minotaurs, satyrs, fauns, sirens, liches. It goes on and on. Same thing with wildlife. I just kind of took different wildlife from different mythologies and stuff, and not necessarily from one single one. But yeah. Make September my month of focus to get it to alpha reader states. Cool. And I know a lot of people when they send to alphas and betas, they will send out like a questionnaire. Like I was talking about earlier, how do you like these characters? Whatever you're actually more concerned about. And it could be like per chapter, per couple chapters, or the story in general. And one of the things you could uh, ask is, what age range do you think would be appropriate for this to market to? So yeah. I want to work on something else for NaNoWriMo. Yeah, that's what I usually do for camp and nano. I usually take a break from my main project and work on a side project. Last year it was the gift of a child for both camps and nano. Well, nano last year was part gift of a child and part sovereign duties, since I was just kind of getting started on it. This year for camp, I did my memoir in July. I didn't really participate in April. I figure I might work more on my memoir again this camp or this November for nano. Yeah, there's a few people that's, there's no question whether it's what age range it is. Yeah. Like my first story I ever actually wrote, and I might go back and revisit it and kind of redo it or whatever. It's called Left But Not Forgotten. It was originally going to be a trilogy. I think I might just do it as a duology now. I'm not sure. Um, but it is very adult. It's got some gang violence. It's got swearing in almost every sentence. Um, it's an adult, totally. Yeah, I like to dabble there too. And adults, this one is just maybe not the right one, but sometimes the scenes change while I write. Yeah, I understand that. I'm using mostly indigenous people myth. Cool, cool. Native American primarily, but no one tribe. Yeah, when I was doing the Kingdom of Alberin, that's what I mostly based that culture and stuff off of, was Native American tribes and such, with like the branding on their arms and the chest or whatever, to make scarifications in honor of being a warrior. They did it on their face for, if you was a traitor or was found guilty of some type of crime, they branded your face so everybody would see it. They have a holiday. It's like a week long type festival called Walk of Roses, which is the journey of a boy becoming a man type ordeal. And some of those practices were based off of that. Um, don't really know if I use too much actual fantasy elements like creatures and stuff like that from Native American lore. I know I did use. I have a codal, whatever it's pronounced, from the Aztec. Um, I forgot what the actual full name of their god, being, creature, whatever that it's derived from, but something codal, something, I don't know. But I know I did use that in the story. But yeah, I love Native American lore and history and stuff like that. It's, yeah, new adults is relatively new, I believe, and uh, aspects to how long it's actually been a marketable subsection or whatever. It used to be just adults or young adults, and then they kind of, well, there's this little bit of in between, so it's kind of still new, and I think it's still kind of working out the kinks to actually, what makes it new adult versus adults, or new adult versus young adult in a sense. Yeah, I did mine for my alphas each chapter, or at least for the Battle for METAGORE. I did it for each chapter because I was sending it as I wrote the chapter. And then when I did my betas, I would send like portions, like everything before the war was declared, and then some questions for that. And then from the time the war was declared to the time the war actually started, I'd sent those chapters. So I sent like in sections and had the questions about those sections in general. Um, And I think for sovereign duties, when I send it out to my alphas, I'm going to just send it once I get it all done. I'm just going to send it all at once, and then just a questionnaire for them to answer over the actual entirety of the story. But I had looked online different people's questionnaires for betas and alphas and such, and kind of took the questions that I found that would be of importance to me and just kind of comprised it down on there, all the way from like settings, details. Was it predictable? What was your favorite character, your least favorite character, why you like that character, why you didn't like that character, anything that didn't make sense, just a lot of different stuff. And I just kind of picked those questions that I found actually pertain to me and put that in a different document and sent that document out. Thinking of writing a memoir for my mother, so it's more creative nonfiction than straight biography. Yeah, I had thought about maybe doing something like that for my memoir, but I don't think I'm going to anymore, because it was about when I used to rap. We had decided to make the group or whatever, like September of 2009, and then expanded all the way, or I kept making music all the way until like August of 2015. So it's like almost 6 years there. And I didn't want to write something kind of choppy, you know, this here, this here, this here, whatever. I wanted it to kind of be compressed. And I was thinking about doing a little bit of a creative fiction type, whatever, creative nonfiction. Um, and then, maybe exaggerate some stuff, kind of play off of our personas and this and that. I know one of the guys in my group, or whatever, he turned to be a big druggie on pills, meth, all kinds of stuff. He's off of it now, thankfully, but for a while he was. But he didn't actually get on it until after the band had kind of fell apart and separated. But I was thinking about incorporating that like earlier on, so it'd be in the story. But now I don't think I am. I think I'm going to stick strictly on the timeline that everything actually did happen. I just had to walk away from my beta because she didn't want to do the questionnaire. I like, you volunteer then. Yeah. I know I even put at the top of my my questionnaire, I don't want like a single answer. If I say, who's your favorite character and why, don't just tell me the character's name and that's it. Tell me why. Did you like this chapter? Don't say yes or no. Tell me why you liked it, why you didn't like it. I want paragraphs. However, I don't want 1 or 2 word answers for all this. And then I still had some that would be like, yeah, and that'd be it. So, why? What did you like about it? What did you not? Adults. I'm good at adulting. Well, the fun adulting. I actually have a sign up over my sink. It says, I can't adult today. And I tell my wife that all the time. Every time she's like, hey, you going to do laundry? I can't adult today. I'm sorry. Just not feeling it. I don't want to adult. Yeah. But the fun adulting is fun. I enjoy that. My focus is less on war and more on humanity destroying what once was. Yeah, when I wrote the Battle for METAGORE, my idea for it was mostly going to be the war. And when I originally outlined, the book was only like 20 chapters, and it was the war. Uh, and then as I actually wrote it, it expanded, I think, to like 58 chapters, I believe, plus an epilogue. So it like almost tripled. And it is more heavily reliant upon the government and the political aspects and some of the society aspects of it. Even though it does still follow a lot of the knights and warriors, and it does have several battle scenes in it. I know a lot of people said that they felt like it reflected more upon the characters and the actual uh, either political or whatever aspect of it instead of the battles. But whatever, that's just what it turned into be. So I'm happy. I'm gonna be writing The third book I think is going to be more heavily on the battles, but I figure it'll probably actually be like the first one as well. But oh well, that's what it wants to be. So the legends included or related to the elements, the stars, animals, deaths, etc. Yeah, I kind of took I guess some of that. I know, I don't know if it's really Native American or what, but I know different cultures or whatever believe that's once you die, sent to heaven or whatever the afterlife is for them, and it's above you, and it's outer space, which is also referred to as the heavens and stuff. Some of them think of stars as people who've died still kind of watching over them or whatever, and that's kind of like the how the afterlife is referenced to for all of METAGORE, not just the Alberians, but for all of them. The heavens is called the Starlands, which is more like a paradise type place where you die, you go up to the Starlands. And then if you would go to like hell or something, it's called the moon's frozen void. So it's still kind of referencing the moon and stars in that aspect. And I know there's a scene in the first book. I have a race called Morlings, which is like a shapeshifter type of race. They can shift between their like an elven form to some type of animal, and each person is assigned a certain animal. Just genetics. They don't get to pick what it is, and they can't pick between different ones. It's just that one, whatever you're born as, in a sense. And there's a scene in the book where one of the characters is talking to his son, and you kind of got to learn how to shift back and forth or whatever. And he kind of goes into the scientific technicality of it or whatever, how they have like two strands of DNA and they have to kind of clear their minds and let one kind of take over. And I know a lot of people say that kind of reminds them of like uh, Native Americans and their animal spirit, because that's kind of what they refer to it as well, as being one with their animal spirit. So yeah, took a few elements like that, I guess, from Native American traditions and such. But I know more of the culture itself is what's reflected in Alperin instead of their lore and stuff. My book coming out in November has a Vowden priest. I don't know how to pronounce that. And My Little Mermaid is going to have a Jamaican witch. Cool, cool. The other write-in stream has begun. Just a heads up, I'm in both now. Cool. I'm actually going to be getting off here. Wow, I'm like 10 minutes behind on the comments. I'm going to be getting off here in like probably 5-10 minutes, something like that, so I can go get my wife. And that'd make a good video, some information on alpha and beta questionnaires. Yeah, I think one of the videos I plan on doing this year, I don't remember exactly when. I'd have to look in my document when I got everything scheduled, but it's like, what is alpha and beta, and maybe even critique partners or whatever, and I would kind of go into maybe how to find some, as well as questionnaires and stuff like that. It's not necessarily part of the plot, but it's important to me. African pagan religions are so glazed over. Yeah. That's kind of why I wanted to incorporate multiple different mythological creatures in my story. I didn't want to do just the typical normal, this is what most fantasy stories use, like elves and dwarves and giants or whatever. I wanted it to be very diverse. So I try to pick from different mythological uh, aspects, different, places of reference with the races and the wildlife and all that stuff. So I'd have like a diverse set of characters and cast, as well as wildlife and all that kind of stuff, and cultures and beliefs and stuff like that. Trying to do my story without infringing on any of their major world religions. Cool, cool. I don't know how many religions I'm going to have in my story. I know I've got 4 religions kind of thought up at the moment. I know some of them's kind of based off of different ones slightly, but it's not a mere copy of it in a sense. Love stories that mix the religious because let's be honest, they are all the same, just different perspective. Yeah, actually I myself am a Christian, but I'm not one of those people that think that every other religion is wrong in a sense. I know that there are other religions that worship a single deity that's all powerful or whatever. I'm not going to tell them they're wrong because all I know, their God could be the same as my God. They're just worshiping it differently in a sense. Um, got a different name. They might focus more on different aspects of the history, whatever. So I'm not like one of those people who's like, no, you're wrong. I'm right, whatever. And I wanted to indicate that a little bit in my world. I have the one true God is actually referenced in the majority of the different religions in the story. And she goes by a multitude of different names and aspects. Some people believe her to be more of a plague of destruction or whatever. Other people perceive her to be the goddess of peace. Some people perceive her to be the slave bearer, which is kind of like a mother aspect, and a few others or whatever. So I wanted that aspect as different religions could be worshiping the same being, just from a different viewpoint in a sense. Cool, cool. I don't know if I'll be able to join. Like I said, I gotta go get my wife, probably go shopping. My mom will probably keep the kids tonight, so I'll probably have to leave town and take them there. And then I'm sure my boss has probably sent me something to work on. Yep, she did. I just got a text from her. So I'll probably be working on that. So yeah. How to run the pharmacy protocol. Going have overlapping streams all day. The taller is a napping. I doubt I can't make words. Cool, cool. I like the voodoo lore, I guess. A lot of um Cajun references as well. Not as much. I know some of the African stuff, but mostly what I know is more American, kind of Louisiana Cajun type voodoo priest type stuff. Hello, Dr. Andrew Cruz, neurosurgeon. Yeah, I am doing good. Main character worship ancestors, the soul and vegetation, fire and the sun and moon, east and west. Yeah, I have a religion kind of like that. It's not in any of my stories yet, but they worship more of the first children, is what they refer to. Celestians, which are the first race that was actually ever created by the one true God to inhabit the world. And they represent the different elements: fire, earth, wind, water, and they worship them instead of the actual person who created them, in a sense. Yeah. Thanks for hosting. I'm glad I caught your stream. Good chats. I'm sure I'll catch you around later. Yeah, for sure. So I think I'm about to get off here. It's about 25 after. It started in West Africa, moved to Haiti, and then here. Yeah, I know a lot of American customs and stuff. None of it started here, and I knew that the voodoo aspect of it came from Africa. Um, but I'm sure it's been diluted and changed or whatever. I'm sure, like most things, especially us as Americans, we got to do it differently so we can say it's ours. But whatever. Oops. Creole. Cool, cool. I'm slightly Native American myself. I don't really know what portion of it. I haven't actually followed my dad's history back, but I know my mom's side of history. Um, at one point, I don't even know how far up the family tree line is, but I have a great something other grandfather from Europe somewhere. Can't remember exactly where, but he came over when the colonies first formed or whatever. He traveled over there from the very beginning and landed up in like Massachusetts area, and then he actually married a Native American woman. So I got that little bit of Native American from his wife on down. But that might be like 5, 6, 7 grades back. So I mean, it's very diluted now on that aspect. I don't know about my father's side because I don't really know much about my father's. I know his name, but that's all I know on that side of history. So, or side of my family. So, yeah. But anyways, it was fun chatting with everybody. Even pestering the trolls, I guess. Um, it's about time for me to go. As always, I'm DL Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. All my links are down below. I got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. I have a Patreon page that I'm going to be more active on. So if y'all want to go and support me, go click on that and show some support. My book's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and a bunch of other places. You can go click those links. That's all down below. I have a sign up form if you want to be an alpha for sovereign duties whenever that time comes. That sign up form is also down below. You can go sign up for. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. Um, do this again some other time. So yeah, later. Peace out. ELE. Everybody love everybody.